Hi, before I sit down to answer the first email I've had back from a news agency, this is the street professor, Skookum One, giving a report from last night from my trip into New Westminster, which was, the gods smiled on me, and I met some angels, or angels met me, or we met each other, and there was a lot of love. I got a lot of thanks from people for what I'm doing all over. I discovered all kinds of young people that didn't know to vote, this all over New Westminster. Few street people and stuff, people in the Starbucks, Serbian, some mature age Serbian, 50 or so, well off at the bus loop at New West Station. A big Jamaican gave me a big hug, says, "You good white man, let me give you a hug," because he heard me talking, and I get people walking up and saying, "I'm very grateful for all the love, it's given me more energy." So here's the story, okay? The only news agency that's called me back, gotten back to me now, is APTN. And that's the only one that's called me back. And the Green Party called me back, "Thank you, I'm sorry we got cut off," and I had my friend I met a friend last night, he's Jordanian, and he's going to be taking web media and helping. My videos are too long, I need to learn how to package them. This isn't just a street professor video now, this is Solidarity Part 2, this time we win, is what I came up with last night. Anybody who was around in '83 knows what I mean. And as I listened to my first video last night, it reminded me I have to call the United Spiritual Communities of Christ, who are the Doukhobors in Cascadia, and see if I can find my school friend at SFU, JJ Verrigan. So if someone who is Doukhobor, I don't only have so much time to do all the things I've thought of doing, and I'm very grateful that my friend Leon Laith, he has two names, Leon Laith is his Arabic name, and I'm learning Arabic from him. I'm going to teach him Chinook jargon. I was using my French. I'm going to do a French video, but for the Québécois and les Acadiens, les Français à la France, so they understand, right, what's going on here. I want the world to know what's going on here. I hablo español bien, and I was my whole bus driver last night. Rico Donez, man, thank you, man. It was a great conversation, and he listened it out, right, and agreed. He's from Guatemala. He has a good bus driving job here. You know what I had to say about that, right? Anyway, so we talked in Spanish for a long time about my life in Acapulco. So anyways, I'm meeting people like crazy, and I'm really grateful for all the love that everybody's given me, right? And that they needed to hear this, the people that didn't need to vote. And I had a lot of very concerned looks from like 40 and 50. One woman worked for BC Transit. She was maybe 40, 50 somewhere. And she turned out to be from Mumbai, and she was Hindu. And there were two Hindu guys the other night. So I asked her, I told her everything, and I'm doing these videos. So thank you for watching. Okay, I'm going to learn to keep them short. And I've got Laith to help me do them now. And Laith is going to do one in Arabic. And other people are going to do them in Tagalog and Punjabi. I talked to a bunch of, more than one group of Punjabi teenagers, and older Punjabis and other people, Anyone I meet who might be a new voter, who might not have been sent a ballot, or who might have been kind of like disengaged, and talk to the disengaged. Please take the street people by the hand if they need it, right? Just talk to them, just say, look, if you vote for the change, you know that your system has screwed you, right? You know that. And they all look, they go, yeah, okay, well look, we're trying to change the system so we can come up with a better system for all of us. And they all love the kids too, man. They all want you, all the street people wish the kids well, right? This is really important to know. They're all people, right? Whatever happened to them. And a lot of them, they're not junkies, they're just been on the street for so many years, they're so disconnected, but they're our citizens, they're our fellow citizens, and they have a right to our democracy. I'm really passionate about this. This we got to do, all us British Columbians. We got to make British Columbia a new place. You young people, I love you, and all you new people, I love you, especially appreciate all the elders I've talked to. It's bringing my languages out of me, and brings my love for friends that are gone. I have friends who died on the street. I had a 21-year-old Farsi friend, who's on the street because of the way the world is, and he's troubled about being Muslim in this country, that's wrong, and he felt alienated. He even changed his first name, and he took too many pills one night. He was young, 21. He had so much, and what he wanted to study was science, but he felt alienated, you see. So we got to make an integrated culture here, same way that when the Hungarians came and the Greeks, and all the people who weren't like Anglo-Saxon culture, the Scandinavians and the Italians, we were all here from the start, there's different waves of different people that have come, and eventually, as I see happening with the Punjabis and the Chinese, and everyone else, over time the kids marry, or they just get to know each other, the kids are raised with each other, right? And it's really important that the elders of that community understand, what's at stake. So what I do with my history stories, please translate into Hindi, into Urdu, into Punjabi, into the 2 dialects, 3, 4 dialects of Chinese, whatever you speak. And if you understand what I'm saying, please do a translated version. Japanese, Koreans, lots of Koreans, right? We need everyone to vote, from the new community and from you're young. If you have 19-year-old kids and you're a new citizen and they got to go through whatever the relationship is, or your cousin, right? And the people on the street, all religions are based on charity. We take care of our people. And these guys need to have their democracy taken care of for them. So I'm going to get back to my reply to APTN. And the Green Party, I'm grateful for you calling back, and I'm glad we had a good conversation and that you got it, okay? People want to vote Green, and my theory is, I wrote about it last night, I'll speak about it later, that last year there were so many people I talked to of both the other parties who wanted to vote Green but felt they had to vote for their party. Mr. Weaver, listen to me. If we'd had PR last year, sir, I think he would have been Premier, all right? Right? So, if the split would have wound up with you being the three-way split, you would have been wound on top because you took from both parties. But if people on the left, so-called, I think the left-right thing has to go. I say the Green Party is neither left nor right, it's forward. Right? And it's the party of the future for the kids. Right? The kids are the 19 and up. Don't mind me calling you younger people under 50 that, right? But we can't help it. That's how we see it. Right? But we have, I was really grateful last night on the bus. A young Native couple listened very attentively to everything I said, and other Native people, and also the foreign people, and then some of the new students. Well, they do listen to me because I talk. But one of the Native kids, the one on the bus, right? He was raised by his granny, and he was taught to listen to his elders. Your elders know a lot. They've been through a lot, and those guys on the street. I'm pointing with my hand, you can't see it, right? Those guys on the street, I'm gesturing, I need a cameraman. I need a cameraman like Ryan Hadriel has, following me around and stuff, talking. Because it's going to have to do that when we do the high country stuff, right? The places I'm going to take you, the mountains I'm going to show you, the canyons I'm going to show you in my home country. And I'd like to go to Telegraph Creek, somebody wants to go up there, right? I know a lot of history of BC, and I want to show people what happened here, right? And especially recently. The recent history, you try and write a book on it, it's all garbage. And the big publications on BC history, other than the new one by Dan Marshall and Don Houker's book and certain others, Kanaka by Tom Cobble, they're all excellent books. I don't want to get into Barman and Bowering right now, but I got a lot to say about them. But historians are pissy about how you talk and how you cite. No, it's easy to vlog, to tell you the story of this province. So anyways, this is my pad. I had to move all my gear into here. That's my window. I'm not going to show you what's on the floor. It's not too bad right now, actually. But I have to move soon, right? So I had to move all my desk and everything in here because we had to put on a charade for the Strata Council. And not a charade, no, he lives here, right? But I had my desk out in the living room, and I had to move it all pretty much, he's helped me, but pretty much I had to do a lot by myself, right? And I have a hip replacement, right? So anyway, it's done, and I have to move out of here because there's a renovation going on. So I may connect with somebody doing this, but maybe I did last night. I don't know. We'll see. I think I did. Maybe I won't say his name because I don't like jinxing things. And someone else I met, I don't like jinxing things either. If it's real, oh geez. Anyway, so this is done. But I'm going to mention that, and I just figured out how old Alan Fotheringham is. He may be dead. No, it doesn't say he's dead, but apparently he survived. And he was 79. He survived something so he would be, quite, 84 or something. He may not be writing, right? But I'm going to write him because he taught me politics. Him and Ma Murray. Trevor Lawtons, if you're still alive. Paul St. Pierre. And the Len Norris comic strip. Go look him up. They're great, right? One of the greatest cartoonists in the world. Political cartoonists, right? Classic stuff. And then from the old Georgia Strait, the Herald Head, HEDD. And yeah, go find some old copies of the Georgia Strait and see what Dan McLeod was beaten for. And I'm going to do a video on all the times that people speaking up politically were beaten for. If I get beaten, then at least the truth is out there. Bruce Clark, I admire you. Jack Cram, I admire you. I'm sorry for what's happened to both of you. All right? Look those names up, people. Clark has an E on the end of it. Right? They're lawyers. Right? And anyway, there's other people here in this province that have had horrible things happen to them. And the Georgia Strait got blackmailed by Gordon Campbell. But you know, I think the media today, we're gone beyond print. The Tyee and the Strait already have issues politically, right? So the media is where the money for you know making Canada more democratic should go, not into the conservative press chains, the largest of which is owned by a conservative New York hedge fund. Last time I heard, did we know any different? I'm not sure who it is, but I know that they're conservative. So guess who's running our media? Them. You got me now. Okay, so don't believe the papers. And I have this thing about Bill Thielemann talking. I called B'nai B'rith about the No campaign using fascism as a reason to turn down PR. And you know, I've got a lot to say about that, but that's very wrong, and B'nai B'rith agrees with me. So between the Green Party, I think, is going to take legal action now to get an extension. I hope so. I want to post this soon, so I got to shut up and learn to make short videos. And I hope I get some response from other news networks, but APTN I'm grateful for. And I'm going to see if I can find Alan Garr. My friend Terry Glavin, who I also speak Chinook jargon with when he's around. And anyway, but he's with the NatPo chain and Maclean's and stuff, so he's probably limited on what he can say. But I think Terry will send my tweets at Big Skookum around his other journalist friends. There's only one of me. You know, if somebody would send my tweets to the Guardian, you know, or somebody, Heather Malik, or is it Richard Lucas? I'm trying to remember the other Canadian with the Guardian. Dan Levin at the New York Times, please write about this. Amy, please, you know, I've called you a few times. I think you might realize how serious this is now. This is very, very against the Canadian Constitution. And it's being painted as kind of lackadaisically as, oh, we have this problem. No, the problem can be solved easy by an extension and by having ballots, maybe even in the new languages. Because it doesn't matter, they're all computerized, they can be read that way, right? Just put them out for people to understand and put out materials to understand and get the ballot boxes at the shelters, on the campuses, and on the temples. I spoke to the Buddhist temple. I spoke to Poles. The whole Polish community will be alerted, right? I've spoken to Serbians. They're all on the move. I've spoken to all the Hindus. That woman I know, she will mobilize everybody at her temple. And the two guys from the other night, you know, they're younger generation, right? And the same with the Sikhs are already, yeah, everybody listens to me and they get it. Because they know what happened to them before. By one party, FPT governments and their bullshit. So I'm the no bullshit party. If the Green Party wants to disown me, I don't think you guys will. But I found out so much that the people of British Columbia love green politics and both sides want to vote for the Greens. And the way that that's going to happen, that Bill Thielemann is claiming fascism, that his grandma was well, so was my aunt, in a concentration camp in Java. Well, godmother of my brother, but she was my Aunt Nellie, right? And part of my upbringing. And she was raised in a Japanese concentration camp, you know, and I know she'd vote for PR. I know my mother, who got screwed by FPTP, would vote for, in mission election, would vote for PR. I know so would my very, very late father, very long ago. They believed in fair politics, and so did their whole generation. And a lot of them, you know, they did things. There's a lot of BC history that the war veterans who moved here from the other part of Canada contributed to us the same way the draft dodgers did. And I welcome more Americans. I welcome progressive Americans with all their talents and their media skills and entrepreneurship and all the good things that they have created in their country. The good of America we welcome here. And I hope that bit gets clipped. Please come to Canada. Help us be a better, more progressive country. We're bringing in PR. All you people in the other provinces, I hear PEI has PR. I hear all the other provinces studied it. New Brunswick's nuts. It's the population of Vancouver and North Vancouver district only, combined. Is it 50 ridings they have? 49? 51? Of Nova Scotia's 51, they have 49. Right? Can you imagine having 49 ridings in Vancouver and they all fight and they all hate each other? Yeah, you know, we need to reconstitute the whole country. It's not just about electoral reform, people. Do you want a free Canada? Or do you want it run by foreigners? Do you want it to be a colony forever? This is what PR is about. Do you want to take control of your politics or leave in place a system that allows our politicians to sell us out? And I won't start the list, it's too long. And in recent times, too, and currently. So anyway, in 1983, it was mass demonstrations, and the Americans were worried. There's a long story to 1983. But we might have had to face an invasion if we went forward with the general strike. And they're going to call me crazy for saying that, but anybody who was alive during that knows what I mean. It was on the front page of the Sun that they were on the move. Things aren't in British Columbia as they seem, which is why the street professors come forward, and why Skookum I, who's remained in the shadows and writes things that's too long and has been libeled by the press, knows all about what needs to be said. And I'm tired of the bullshit. Nothing more dangerous than a man with nothing less to lose. And as somebody who's read Dune last night, I said, did you read Dune? And I said, and I said, yeah, well, I'm a truth sayer. And he got it right away. A truth sayer is somebody who sees and records what he knows and can spiel it back. I remember things. I remember who did what to who. All right? So I'm not afraid anymore. I really am not. I'm just tired of all the bullshit. So I'm the one-man, no bullshit party. I'm the one-man walking, talking pole. I'm the British Columbian standing up for our freedom and saying to the new people and the young and the people on the street, vote for PR. Vote for PR. It is the future. It is what has to happen. Too much has been ripped off and given away. And the no side wants a system that allows us to be controlled by outsiders. Or, yes, the unions are still outsiders, right? Because they're international, right? We want control of British Columbia. Please take control of it. Please vote for PR. Grab your mom, your dad, your cousin, your kid if he's 19, your daughter, right? Take anybody that you know on the street. Take them to Service BC. Mob Service BC. And I'm gonna force, I hope the Green Party hears me, we need ballots on the campuses. We need ballots, more ballot places downtown than just Service BC. The Carnegie, certainly. Why isn't there a ballot box at the Carnegie? You see? Because it's class discrimination in the vote, and age discrimination, and the covert racial discrimination of not caring if the new people vote. Do you hear me? We have a serious, it's not just voter suppression, it's voter exclusion. That's what's happened. And I don't think it was all that indeliberate. I'm not saying anything further, but I really don't think it was all that indeliberate, because there's people that don't want this to pass. And the NDP are as terrified of the Green Party as the Liberals are of the Tories. Justin Greenwood, I salute you, brother, from the other side of the hall, okay? I welcome you back into the House, and I hope you get a clutch of seats bigger than those bastards, okay? I speak like I talk, because I was bounced on the knee of Ma Murray. I was taught politics by Alan Fotheringham and all the other writers I wrote as I met. I read tons of history. I've read our history. I've watched a lot of it happen. And I want the young people of British Columbia to know. I want the new people to know why they have been excluded from the vote, so they won't know the bullshit that FPTP politics has done to this province and why it's in ruins. Oh, if you'd only seen the beauty of it before these bastards did what they did. Okay? So trust me, it's really critical. Everybody you see. I know I get passionate and I'll be mocked for it, but anybody who understands what I'm saying knows why I'm so angry. This is something you need to do for your future and for the future of your kids, and for the sake of the guy and the gal at the street. I'm lucky I met a nice young woman on 5th in New West last night who listened me out, and she's going to go to the women's shelter. And I haven't been out of the house to go to the tent city here yet. We all have to do this, okay? Get everybody who needs to vote to vote. This is a long rant, like I didn't believe to me, but I wanted to do a report. I've got a lot of people to respond to now, and things I've got to upload the videos and get hold of my friend Lisa more, and I've got other things to do, right? I've got too many people to call. So if anybody who I've mentioned, Alan Gar maybe, or anybody like that has heard this, Terry, like pass it around, anybody who like I say about making videos in other languages, right? Are calling who I've mentioned that I haven't gotten through to yet, who I've sought out, right? Ethnic associations, student associations. I've talked to SFU this morning, both student newspapers, and both student associations, and do stuff like this. Do it at Douglas. Do it at the other campuses. VFS. You guys make some political films, huh? The guys doing video at VFS. This is the call to action. Same at Cap College, Cap University now, right? I almost said Cap College. Some of you guys at Cap College in film, you might remember me from a couple of indies there. I was like a crazy hillbilly and kicked down a door, and I kicked down the whole set, and I was going to eat the guy in the bathtub. Remember that? Anyway, so I got to sign off. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy. But you know what? I'm crazy because I'm crazy with the love of what I'm doing, because you people need to have a future, and you need to know why you need to get rid of the old system. So I'm dedicated to doing that, including after the referendum. I'm going to not stop. I'm going after the feds. I'm telling more history. I'm going to tell you history about why this isn't really a long alliance with the United States. Not at all, especially not in British Columbia. Look at the San Juan Islands dispute. Look at the Alaska boundary dispute, the Oregon dispute. I won't go on. There's so much you don't know. Anyways, thank you for being there. I really appreciate having the window to the world now, and I hope that people in other countries in America, please let me know that you saw this. And I'm going to send this to Occupy Democrats too, the clips of this, and once they pulls it out. Maybe that first thing I did on the porch yesterday, which I think is called Call to Arms, right? It's that kind of thing. This is a call to arms, okay? This is the revolution. Everybody dance, right? Everybody go do it, right? Everybody go find people and get them to vote. Make this a human tide. This I better call human tides, because I'm making so many I got to remember what they're called, right? Have a good day, and Skookum loves you all. Just go vote, okay? It's a beautiful place. Let's make it more beautiful. Let's make it fair. Let's have fair democracy for Christmas. Vote PR. Don't you want it? I want a good future for the kids, man. I want a good future in the beautiful British Columbia that we can run our way, not how somebody else outside the country wants it, okay? Vote for PR. That's what this is about. Take charge of British Columbia so that we own the province again. Okay? Because we've had it taken from us in ways that you don't even know yet. Okay? And I'm going to explain it all. And yeah, okay, I might wind up like Bruce Clark or Jack Graham or others who've been or Dan McLeod. And there are others. Fred Quilt, Chilcotin leader, was beaten to death in 1971. And so many people are going to order this book on Amazon. That's what I want to see happen, or a publisher here in BC or somewhere, Saskatchewan. I'll call the USask. Lauren Brown, I think it's Carolyn, his wife, they have unauthorized history of the RCMP. Remember that title, go find it, or it might be in your university library. Some is done, like photocopy it, pass it around. The true history of Canada. The true history of Canada is what my videos are going to be about. Also, the true history of British Columbia, and the true history of the Pacific Northwest, and much else about environmental science and geography and sort of wondrous marvels. I really admire the science videos, but I need maps, and I need, a production team, and I'm really grateful that I found people like that. And I'm getting the love that I'm getting. I really, really am grateful for everybody that listens, and I have other people listen to me talk to someone else, and they thank me for doing what I'm doing. I get it all evening, that they realize how much they have to wake up, and you all have to wake up. Vote for PR. Don't believe the bullshit put out by the no side. Don't believe you can go to a Service BC bullshit. Join me in the fight for an extension to New Year's. Everybody who has a right to vote needs to get a chance to vote, and needs a chance to understand that it was not explained to them. It was all discriminatory. It was against the Constitution. And I'm hoping that the Premier just backs down, because we don't need a legal case costing the public money, do we, Premier Horgan? No, we don't. Right? Make it the rest of the month. Print up the foreign language materials. It's easy to do. And I dispute that it's going to take 14 months to do the boundaries, especially with rural-urban proportional, because the interior boundaries don't have to be redrawn that much. And a lot of people out there think they're going to be drawn that. The lies of the PR side. Okay, who owns Black Press? Okay, who is he in mortgage to is really who the question is. Right? The same with the papers here. New York controls them, you get it? Okay? So don't believe any shit you hear from the no side. And the fascist stuff. The fascist I met on the bus last night had gotten all fired up by this campaign that Thielemann has fucking started about fascism and you no-siders. Well, I'm so glad that guy doesn't have a vote, because he was we're going to organize and get 5%, and then once we get a seat, we're going to take over Canada. Yeah, but luckily that bastard doesn't have ID. So we just let him get off the bus, and I started talking to Rico from Guatemala again. And Rico heard me out. He's spreading the word on the Hispanic community. He's going to make videos in Spanish. I am too. When I get my Spanish is getting better. My French is getting better. And I'm going to call these are reminders for myself right now. I got to call the Scandinavian Agency. I want to call Gypsy Hall. There's so many. If you're in one of these communities I'm talking about, please call them instead and tell them to watch my videos. Okay, at Big Skookum or Tamaness youtube.com/TamanessBand. On Blogspot, I'm getting dizzy here of which one I'm talking about. Blogspot, I'm Skookum1, but not numeral 1, but spelled out, okay? It's hard to get all the Skookums because other people have them, the Skookum ones. Skookum one has been my traditional name, but now, I'm making it public as a historian. I've been on Blogger for years, and whatever, right? But the street professor came to me. That may modulate into something else, as time goes on. Right now, I'm a walking, talking poll, and I talk to more people than any pollster has ever talked to, and I talk to them. I let them know what's going on and why they were shut out of the vote, and they all get it, and they're all going to vote. So I'm done. Good night. Or good morning, actually. Good morning. I'm going to finally eat my Katie and tuna. I'm not in the mood to cook anything fancy. Have a very good day, people. I love you all. And please go vote for PR and take people who need to. Skookum signing off. Good day.